lesson 1 about the periodic table. In this lesson, students will explore the patterns in the periodic table and how elements are organized. This starts with a discussion of the Greeks and their thoughts on what the world is made of. There are some nonfiction reading and comprehension questions in the student guides, allowing you to integrate the English Language Arts Common Core state standards into this science lesson. After students have had a discussion about that, you will start with an exploration of the set of elements and experiment with ways to organize them. A good preparation tip is to have the packets of elements opened ahead of time, and you will notice that on the side there is 1, 2, or 3 dots that will let you know which section you are giving out at a particular time. You will start by giving out the elements with 1 dot to the students, and they will come up with their own theories on how those elements can be organized. They may do alphabetical order, they may look at atomic mass. Anything they come up with at this point is good. We want them exploring and thinking through those ideas. The next thing you're going to do is discuss Mendeleev's organization of the elements. You don't want to explain specifically how he did it, but that when he was organizing, he did predict that there were missing elements. Students should look at their organization and see if they would be able to predict missing elements as well. If not, they can make adjustments at that time. Next, you're going to pass out the second set of elements with 2 dots on them, and students will place those into their first set that they have already organized. They want to see at this point if they can still predict for missing elements. This is a good time to use the predictive poster to help them frame that conversation on what they already know and what that should be able to allow them to do going forward. At this time, you can start to discuss how Mendeleev did organize these elements. You can start to look at things, if they have not already come up, look at things like the different shells and adding those numbers to help students with that. Finally, you're going to pass out the third set of cards with the 3 dots on them and have students place those with the other 2 that they have already done. If you are doing this lesson in 2 parts, this is where you would stop. Continuing on to the next part of the lesson, students are now going to take the elements they have already organized and place those in the periodic table. You will start by giving each group 2 sections of the periodic table, and they will begin to place their elements on there. Again, the conversation will go back to missing elements and how those are placed. At this time, you will give the 3rd section of the periodic table, which is actually the middle, and the students will continue to place the elements on there. They will begin to look at how the elements are organized, and you will have a discussion at that point of the organization, not just of the elements, but of the periodic table as a whole.